Welcome to Wednesday Mornings with me, encouraging you, trying to challenge you throughout this week. Today I'm going to talk about something that I think could go a bunch of different ways. This morning, the way I talk about this, you could be really discouraged after this. And I'm going to warn you, fair warning before this. You could also be very encouraged. It depends what you do with this information after you listen to what I have to say, all right? And I'm going to start off with a few questions. I had a client say to me this past week, they were talking about a relationship that they wanted, and they said, I deserve this. And this is what I believe was happening in that moment. What I believe was happening was they were saying, I really want this, and I want to be the kind of person that deserves it. That's what I believe they were saying, at least the meaning behind their words. But what they said is, I deserve it. And you know what? I hear this all the time in our culture. I hear it all over the place. But I was thinking even of times when I was in school, when I was even in high school, and people talk about their ideal girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever it is, and their ideal car, their ideal job, their ideal way of living, whatever it is, physical health, body. And so often I was amazed when I heard these people talk about what they wanted. And so many people are so focused on what they want that they believe that they deserve it simply by living. And I don't believe that's true. I believe that if you want something, you need to do something in order to become the person to get it, to deserve it. Now, there's a difference between deserving something and the right to own something, or the right to something, okay? And I'll talk about that in a little bit here. But I'm gonna be short because I've got a meeting here that I wanna run to, an important meeting. So to start off with, what creates deserving? Why would you deserve anything? The word deserve comes from it comes from some Latin. I won't get into it too much, but basically it means you need to work for it. When you deserve something, it means you've taken some actions and that now you will receive your just desserts. Okay, this is a really, really important point. So the question is, if you want something and you really truly desire to work towards something, whether it's a relationship or a fantastic body or like physical health, relationship health, whatever it is, money, business, growth, whatever it is, the question for me is, what are you doing? What are you doing to become the kind of person that does deserve it? Now, some people think, well, what about hope and luck, Mark? Things are there's chance here, and then I might not get lucky. And I disagree with this completely. Earl Nightingale said, I don't believe in luck. Luck is when preparedness meets opportunity, and opportunity is there all the time. What he meant by that, and I'm going to repeat that, luck is when, or fortune, or whatever it is when preparedness meets opportunity, and opportunity is there all the time. There are opportunities out there for the ideal person, the ideal relationship, the ideal challenge to grow, the ideal business partnership, the ideal whatever it is. There are great things out there today, right now, deals of a lifetime right now. And my question is, are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Have you done what you need to do to prepare yourself to deserve the things that you receive in life that you like? Going back to kind of high school, and then when people talked about their ideal girlfriend or boyfriend or partner, so much of the time I thought, so you're saying that you want this athletic, funny, beautiful, handsome, whatever it is, perfect person. And I would often thought to myself, this is fascinating. You want this perfect person, but are you the perfect person to receive that? Are you the perfect person ready for that relationship? And it happens in business too. I hear people talk all the time. Oh, I wish I could have this kind of client, or I wish I could attract this kind of person to me. And I ask them, like, or I wish I could have this kind of business partner. And I ask them, like, have you become the kind of person you need to become in order to receive that? Now, I said I'd talk about rights a little bit. Rights are completely different. Rights are based on beliefs. Okay, rights are based on the belief of everyone is equal. So everyone has the right to live safely and not be discriminated against. And that's a belief that I have. But rights you don't earn. You're born with those. You're born with them. As soon as you're born, you have certain rights. You have the right to not be killed. You have the right to have certain things done. And if those rights are maligned, if they're broken in some ways, people have to pay for that in certain ways. In any culture. We all have different rights based on our culture, based on our belief system, and those are good things. There's nothing wrong with them. The right to education, the right to again be safe on some level, the right to safety in our streets or whatever. I believe that those things are important. But that's not deserve. When you're born, you don't deserve anything. You haven't done anything to deserve it. I'm going to go to my notes here because I've got a couple of things that I really wanted to cover here. If you think about deserving and then what you deserve and what you want to achieve, I want to give you a few action steps here, okay? This is how you need to think about this. First of all, think about what we want. It's good to hope. It's good to say, I want these things in my life. I want better relationships. I want a better business. I want to grow. I want to have more money. Money is and I'll use money as an example. Money is a tool. If you haven't learned to utilize this tool, if you haven't become a master of this tool, you're not going to have very much of it, at least not for very long. Stats are something like up to 70% of people within 2 or 3 years of winning the lottery have less money than they did before they won the lottery. What does that mean? What it means to me is that they're not deserving of that money. What I mean by that is that they haven't done anything to earn it and to have the skill set to keep it, to manage it. If you want your investments to be better, if you want your business to grow, if you want to become a better salesperson or add more value to people, you've got to become that. So this is my paradigm always. It's be, do, have. We want to have things. In order to have things, we need to do certain things. But in order to do certain things, we need to become the kind of person that does those things on a consistent basis. We need to change our identity. Once we change our identity, once we work hard to say, who is this person that's going to achieve things? You want to have the same amount of money as, I don't know, Warren Buffett? Well, what are you going to do? Who are you going to become in order to do certain things to have that kind of money? $40-some billion or whatever it is. If you are not working to become that kind of person, you do not deserve wonderful things in life that you want. Because it's based on merit. It's based on what we do. Here's a couple of action steps that I want to give to everyone. Number 1, think about who you need to become and work toward it. So I want you to work through this process. So I talked about be, do, have. I want you to think, what do you want to have? Who do you want to become? What do you want to do? What are the things that you want in life? Relationships, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, business, money, whatever it is. What do you want? Take some time to really think about what you want. Most people think they want things, and it's because other people want them. And we copy culture. We go, oh, that person has that, so I must want it. They have this vehicle, so I must want this vehicle. No, that's not what you want. Think about what you want. If you truly want that vehicle, fantastic. But what do you want? Not what other people want. What do you want? That's the first step. The next step you need to ask yourself is, what do you need to do in order to achieve that? What do you need to do in order to become that, in order to have that? Okay, if it's a material possession, what do you need to do to have it? If it is somewhere where you want to go or something you want to do, what do you need to do to put yourself in the right position? If you want to go somewhere and live in another country for a year, and then you need to ask yourself, what do I need to do? Maybe if you're young, if you're 20 years old, maybe you say, hey, I'll teach English or do something, and that's the way I get there. Maybe if you've got a family, you go, wait a second, I've got to earn some money, and I've got to influence my partner on this and my kids on this. I've got to sell the idea to other people. Maybe I've got to take a new position at work in order to get there. That's fine. Ask yourself, what do you need to do? And lastly, who do you need to become? Who do you need to become? This is the third step, and you need to ask this question. Who do I need to become? I ask this all the time. Who do I need to become in order to have the impact on the world I truly desire to have? Who do I need to become in order to make the money and grow a business and influence people and have fantastic relationship with my wife and my kids and my business partner and grow other people and grow myself? Who do I need to become to do that? And when I ask myself that consistently, I start to change my identity in my head, who I need to become. And instead, the focus is not on all the things that I want without doing anything. The focus becomes, who do I need to become? And as we become that, we start to grow ourselves. I don't know if you know who Stephen Covey is. He wrote the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I think it's behind me somewhere. I'm looking on my bookshelves here. Anyway, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. There's a really basic concept here. The concept is that we've got an area of influence, and we've got an area of concern. And most people, if you look at most people, they've got a small ability to influence others, and they've got a great area of concern. So when they think about something happening across the world, or something in another city, or something that they don't have a lot of control over, they worry about it. Oh no, there's going to be a war somewhere, and then this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. I'm not saying those things are not bad. They're not things that I want to be part of either, okay? Having said that, so many people react to the fear of all these things they have no control over. And they buy lottery tickets to hope that they might somehow win something that they can have control over the world, or over their own lives. And what Stephen Covey says is, if you want to have a bigger impact on the world, if you want to have more control over your own life, what you need to start with is your own circle of influence. Start with your own circle of influence. Start where you can take some action. And start to have more influence around you. Start to impact the world in a unique way. As you start to take care of things in your own backyard, as you start to become the kind of person you need to become, guess what happens? You then start to have more influence. As you start to show that you're responsible with something at work, or something in your business, guess what? People trust you more, and you have more influence. And as you grow that influence over a long period of time, what starts to happen is your area of concern, your area of influence grows into your area of concern. And eventually you can become somebody who has great influence. And people have done this. Mother Teresa had a massive influence on this planet. Why? I mean, she's this little poor Indian woman from a completely different country. She's not even in North America. How could she have an impact on North America? Well, she had an impact because she grew her area of influence. And you don't have to be a big person to do this. Gandhi did it. Martin Luther King had a massive influence in civil rights around the world because of the actions he took. Because he took care of things in his own backyard and said, who do I need to become? So here's the question I want to leave you with. Who do you need to become? Go through the 3 questions I asked you, but finish off with that. Who do I need to become to do the things I need to do to receive what I want in life? That's it. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for taking time to invest in yourself, and to make sure that you are growing in the ways that you need to grow. Lastly, I'm going to ask a request for you, okay? If this has some value for you, if this is something that will encourage you, that will bring you hope, that will help you grow in some ways, what I would like you to do is like this video and share it with somebody. Share it with others. I want to get the message out. I've got a passion to help other people, especially business owners, but anybody. And if you know somebody that this might help, please share it with them. I'd love to help them as well. Enjoy your week. Make the best of it that you can. You have a lot more control over your life than you believe at times, and become the kind of person who does deserve all the good things you receive.